What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another episode of Player Ratings. Tottenham 3, Pacos de Ferriera 0 in the playoff second leg of the Europa Conference League. The draw actually has been made for the group stages now, and we have got Rennes of France. We have got, who else have we got? Vitesse Arnhem of Holland, and a Slovakian team called something.
What was it? No, that's the player.
Reno or something like that. I don't know what it is, but
Mora.
Mura, that is it. Mura. So it's Rennes, Vitesse Arnhem, and Mura. So actually, as it goes with the Conference League, that's probably one of the hardest draws we could have got.
That's a Conference League group of death, unfortunately. Whatever. I mean, look, we should be getting through that group. But yeah, in terms of the quality of team, it does look more like a Europa League group than anything, and then a Conference League group. It still should be getting through. Yeah,
obviously Rennes have Eduardo Camavinga if he does stay there beyond this summer, so it'll be nice to see him if we do come up against Camavinga, but we'll see what happens. Look, let's get into the player ratings. Let's start off with Pierluigi Golini. We gave him a 6. I thought in the opening exchange of the game, first 45 minutes, was it in this game or the last game? I can't actually remember, but looked a bit dodgy coming out from his goal.
This game, yeah.
But apart from that, I think he dealt with pretty much nothing really came his way, to be honest.
Yeah, he made a few bad errors with his passing, but then his distribution did improve, and he got better, and he made one very good save in the second half from Lucas Silva, just after we got the third goal, actually. He was 1-on-1, and Golini made a big save, and actually got a hit to the Ghoulies, to the Golinis, for his troubles. But other than that, wasn't tested too much, didn't have too much to do. The ball was not really near him.
Exactly. Moving on to Matt Doherty, we gave him a 5. These are the games where you really expect Matt Doherty to kind of put in a shift, really try and put himself in the conversation for that right back spot, seeing as, we're not that well stocked there with Japhet Tanganga and him, the only 2 right backs, Serge Aurier going out the door. And he just didn't do that. I mean, he didn't do too much wrong, but he just didn't do anything over what, standard play, basically. He didn't do anything to take the game to them. He didn't have any great attacking plays. I mean, he arrived in the box a few times, but he didn't really do much, did he?
Nah, disappointed with him, to be honest. Again, I want to see in the final third a bit more action and a bit more creativity and a bit more fast passing, quick exchanges and things like that. And I thought, again, it was just an average display, nothing special. Got in a few good positions, but I thought in general play, again, when you're looking for him to get some quick exchanges with the players around him, especially like the likes of Gil and Lucas who were helping him out, he just kind of, you felt like he was lagging behind all the time, and it was he wasn't, as you say, it wasn't horrendous, but wasn't good either.
Let's move on to Kuti Romero. We gave him a 7. I thought it was a good display, much better than his display in the first leg, that's for sure. He was being aggressive, coming out from the back, showing off his passing ability in the first few minutes, putting Harry Kane through on goal all the way from the back. I mean, he was finding himself in the attacking areas. That's how aggressive he was playing. So I thought it was a good display from him. I felt very assured every time he was on the ball. So yeah, I call for him. Look, it still needs improvement, but definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and he was really unlucky to pick up a yellow card, which I thought was never a yellow, and it would have set up a 3-on-1 opportunity for Tottenham. So I thought the referee had a bit of a mare there. Obviously started the game with a brilliant pass to Harry Kane, which Kane should have scored. Really delightful ping, which is Toby Alderweireld-esque, but yeah, I think it was definitely a step in the right direction, and it was a much improved performance from last week.
Definitely. Which moves us on to Eric Dier. We gave him a 6. I mean, hardly even saw him in the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Hardly even saw him in the game yesterday. That's how much the ball was coming down to the defence. I mean, that's probably why Romero was going in search for it all the way up at the other end of the pitch. But Dier had to stay back to cover the defence, and he was untested whatsoever.
Yeah. I don't think he was as positive maybe in his passing as someone like Romero was, who seemed a lot more aggressive. But yeah, wasn't tested. Was an easy ride for Eric Dier, and was one of his easier afternoons.
Moving on to Ben Davies, we gave him a 6 as well. Again, very much untested. Probably could have got forward a bit more with the amount of possession and kind of attacking intent that we did have. He didn't do that, but nothing to write down about Ben Davies, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought his passing actually, when with the likes of Session around him, wasn't the best. Could have been better. I guess a very similar performance to Doherty. Didn't really see much of him, and but defensively he was sound, and a few times he was able to get into the opposition half and be an option. But again, a bit average.
Average Ben. Let's move on to Harry Winks. We gave him a 7. The best performance I've seen him play in a long time, Harry Winks. And I think he was aggressive. He was going in hard on the challenge. He was putting himself about big time. Passing ability was on show as well with forward passing. Had a massive say in our first goal as well. The way he played it out to Bryan Gil as well. Absolutely brilliant play from Harry Winks. I mean, these are the performances we like to see. Unfortunately, these performances usually only come up against average opposition, unfortunately, but you know, you can only play what's put in front of you, I guess.
Yeah, I thought it was a good display this time from Winksy. I did think second half he wasn't as sharp as he was in the first half, but in the first half he did a lot of damage. I felt really positive passing. He was obviously massively involved in the first goal with a great ball to Gil, who set up Kane and obviously went on to score the goal. Yeah, I thought in the first half it's exactly what you want from Winks, just looking up, making sure he's playing the pass quickly into the attacking players so they can get into space, so they don't have they get on the wrong side of the defenders and things like that. So I was happy with Winks there, but again, needs to be doing that more regularly in the Premier League.
Yeah. Giovanni Lo Celso, we gave him an 8. I think he was my man the match yesterday, Giovanni Lo Celso. I thought he was central to everything that we were doing. He got on the ball, he was positive, he was driving forward. There were a few moments with a few misplaced passes from Gio, but I think all in all, very, very good display. Was the goal given to him? Was the third goal given to him or not?
Not sure. I'm not sure if it was given to him or
let's
not.
see what they're saying.
Spurs gave it to him. I don't know if UEFA gave it to him.
They gave it to him.
They gave it to him. I think it was his goal.
It was his goal. I mean, it was a shot. It was going on target. It took a massive deflection, that free kick at the end. And about 5-10 minutes before that, he took another free kick from a similar angle, which just hit the side netting or the stanchion or whatever you want to call it, behind the goal.
Yeah.
So maybe he could be in line to be our free kick taker in the future. But I think in terms of yesterday, Giovanni Lo Celso, really, really good performance. I was upset with his performance in the first leg, and I think this one made up for it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. He was creative in and around the penalty area. He was linking up with Gil really well. He was getting little passes. Should have had an assist as well for the lovely little through ball to Son near the end of the game. Really good way to pass. And I thought he was a creative hub in the deep lying playmaker position, which I think suits him a lot more than the right wing position that Nuno's used him so far in his tenure. And I think hopefully this was a sign of where Nuno will see him in the future, because I think he's a lot more comfortable in these positions than he is higher up the pitch.
Yeah. Moving on to Ryan Sessegnon, we gave him a 5, who played on the left-hand side of a front three. I think that I was disappointed with Sessegnon yesterday. I think with the opposition that we were playing against, he needs to get the ball and drive forward, beat a man, get crosses in the box, get shots off, and he's just not doing that. If you're playing left wing, especially in the Conference League against that opposition, you have to make more of what you've got, and he just didn't do that. I thought other players definitely outshone him on the pitch, like Bryan Gil. Unfortunately, a bad display.
Yeah, wasn't the best, unfortunately. Didn't really do enough to hurt the opposition. And I thought he could have done a lot more when given the opportunity to really attack the fullback and really go for the throat and show confidence and show that he wants to be challenging for the first team. Again, it was a thing playing within himself. So unfortunately, didn't see enough again from Sessegnon. But Nuno says he thinks there's a lot more to come from him, and so hopefully he can start showing his real potential for as the season goes on.
That's the thing with Sessegnon. Every time I've seen him play for Tottenham, it's always like, oh, he needs more confidence, he needs more confidence, he needs more confidence. It's been a long time now. But I guess he's a very young player still, so time is on his side. So we can't kind of be too harsh on him, that's the truth. But let's move on with Bryan Gil. We gave him an 8. Absolutely brilliant display from him. When you cast your mind back to the first leg, he played really well for the first 10-15 minutes, then vanished out of the game. It wasn't the case. He was central as opposed to left-hand side, had a free roam to go wherever he wanted, and I thought he impacted the game massively. They didn't know how to deal with him. Players couldn't tackle him. He was finding cute little passes, clever little passes to start off attacks and getting players. The way he takes it round players with a little drop of the shoulder. Absolutely love his style of play, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for Bryan Gil.
Yeah, it was a great display for when he was on the pitch. I thought the way he drifted into the wide areas were really hurting the Pacos defence. They didn't know how to pick him up. They were struggling to know where he was going next. And obviously that first goal was evidence of that with his brilliant movement, great play down the left-hand side, a great assist for Kane. And I thought he was getting shots off, being confident. And they found it impossible to get the ball off him. If he lost the ball, it's because a pass got intercepted, not because he got tackled. He very rarely gets tackled, Hill. That's clear. And we'll have to wait and see what his best position is, but definitely central. He looked like an absolute star.
He looked at home there, didn't he?
He did, but you have to wait and see how he does against better opposition. But great start so far.
Lucas Mora, we gave him a 6. I thought this performance was full of energy from Lucas Mora, full of heart. He was taking it past men. He was driving forward, but I thought he always pretty much got let down by his final ball or his end product. I think it was an okay display, but you do call for more, to see more from Lucas Mora, and he can bring more.
Yeah, again, it was a bit anonymous, I felt, throughout the game, to be honest. It wasn't as involved as the other players on the ball, and I felt like, especially, you saw how much he killed the Europa League last season in the group stages and whatnot. You would have thought in this kind of game, he could take it by the scruff of the neck, maybe get a goal, get some shots off, but unfortunately, wasn't linking up too well with the other players. He did some nice dribbles, but unfortunately wasn't enough there to really give him a higher rating in this one. Again, that's 2 kind of average performances in a row now.
Yeah. And then the last of the starting 11 was Harry Kane. We gave him an 8, back in the starting 11 after a wild summer. But look, Harry Kane, it's such a calming presence to have him back in the team. You just know you've got Harry Kane. Goals are coming. Obviously, he scored 2 goals. He was putting himself about pretty much the whole game. He was a thorn in the Pacos sides pretty much the whole game, and it's just great. It's just great to have him back. It really is.
Yeah, it was good for him to get a great reception from the fans. Good to get him off the mark straight away in his first start back. You could see in his celebration, I felt, I don't know, but you could see in his celebration for his first goal how happy he was to be back on the score sheet and back. I don't know. He just seemed he seemed happy to me. He didn't seem like a guy who's sulking or sick of being at Tottenham. We all know he wanted to leave, but now he's confirmed staying. Maybe he's going to knuckle down and start settling back in. And it seemed that way to me. And I thought it was a performance like he never left. And again, nailing that role of playing deep and being a striker as well. That hybrid he's been perfecting all season. He was creative. He was playing some really good passes from deep, and obviously he was arriving in the box and getting on the end of things as well. And he was getting shots off from outside the box. So fantastic from Harry Kane, and I'm so glad he's back.
Definitely. And the substitutes, we're not going to give a rating to them because the game was kind of done. But Sessegnon came off for Emil Højbjerg on the 63rd minute. In terms of Højbjerg's performance, he just controlled things and calmed things down in the middle, didn't he?
Yeah, it was great for him to come on. I don't know if it was necessary, but at 3-0 up, but he came on and saw the game out, and he was good.
Harry Kane came off for Heung-min Son 72nd minute.
He would have been disappointed.
Yeah, probably should have scored, shouldn't he?
Probably should have got 2 goals.
Yeah.
He was 1-on-1 and hit the post, and then he was also missed that chance to Celso set him up for. So those are 2 gilt-edged chances. And I don't know, when Sonny was bearing down on goal, it just didn't seem sharp for some reason. I don't know what it is.
I agree. But hopefully it's just like early season getting to grips with things.
Yeah,
he didn't need it last season.
No, definitely not.
Brian Hill came off for Steven Bergwijn 72nd minute, and I thought Bergwijn looked really positive when he came on.
Yeah, hit the post with that shot on the near post, which really good stuff. A couple of times, though, he had the chance to play Sonny in 1-on-1, and he delayed the pass a bit too long and could have done better. But yeah, he looked. What was good about Bergwijn, he came on, looked confident, was taking on his men time and time again, and it was another nice cameo from him.
Yeah, I got a feeling like this could be kind of Bergwijn's breakout season for Tottenham. He is seeming a bit more confident on the ball. And last but not least, Dele Alli came on for Lucas Mora with 6 minutes to go. But not much of note really for Dele's performance, was there?
No, didn't notice too much.
And last but not least, Nuno. I thought he played it to perfection, really. Starting lineup spot on. I think it was probably not worth bringing on Højbjerg and Son. But look, it is what it is. We won the game 3-0 and through to the group stages. You can't really complain about anything.
Yeah, I think he had to. I think he was right with the selection. He had to get a stronger team than last week to make sure he went through. I think we underestimated them last week and we ended up losing the game. But I think we had a different approach. We are definitely a lot more cohesive. And we end up winning. And I think Nuno got it spot on. And the only thing I would say is there was probably no need to bring on Son at 3-0 up. But maybe he was trying to keep his legs warm for Sunday. So I think he done well.
Yeah, what I would say is that it's it's important to note that, you know, that the attitude and application and mentality on that pitch was absolutely spot on. And I think that's a lot down to Nuno, how he's coaching this team, how fit he's got this team. And it's worth noting as well, because we've been accused in these games of the past, cast your mind back to last season and previous seasons, where we don't take these games too seriously. But we did yesterday, and it was a really good performance. So well done, Nuno. That is our player ratings. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree or if you disagree. Put your ratings in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.